Welcome to ELEKIN TCG. In today's video, I'll be teaching you how to play ELEKIN in just 5 minutes. So let's get right into it. Let's talk about our unique aspects first. So in ELEKIN TCG, there's no turn-by-turn mana system. Instead, you only generate essence from your creatures on the field every turn, and you store it throughout the game. You may use your stored essence throughout the game to play creatures or use enhanced abilities. Our unique combat system features just 2 stats of strength and agility, making it very simple but very strategic. We also have our very own combat mechanic to prevent common steamrolling frustrations in the form of our shields, which protect you from being attacked and have increasingly powerful effects when broken. Lastly, every card has their very own QR code to which you can scan and learn more about specific cards, synergies, best decks, counters, lore, and much more. So give it a shot when you open up a pack for the first time, found your favorite card, and want to know the best supporting cards for that. So enough about our key aspects, let's get right into the gameplay. So starting off with deck building, you're going to start off by building a deck typically consisting of 2 elements and 40 to 60 cards. You may use as many or as little elements as you see fit to build your own deck, but this is what we find works best. Please see our upcoming deck building video for more information on the ins and outs of deck building. So onto the setup. Once you have your deck ready, you're going to want to place it in a deck zone and prepare the field. You can grab one of our official game mats with dedicated zones and our patented essence tracking method, or just grab the nearest table and just dive right in. So you want to start off by determining the very first player. You do this by a coin flip, rock, paper, scissors, or just any game that you see fit. So after that, each player begins the game with 500 life points, and the very first player on the very first turn does not draw a card and cannot conduct a battle phase. However, the second player and every player's turn after that has no restrictions. Now, the goal of ELEKIN TCG is to break through your opponent's shields and deplete their life points down to 0. An alternative way to win is if your opponent has no cards left during their draw phase. There are 4 different types of cards in ELEKIN. You have creatures, ruins, counters, and shields. All creatures besides their dragons come in one of the 4 main elements of air, water, earth, and fire. Our ruin cards come in 3 different types. We have normal, instant, and ruin. Normal and equipment cards can only be played during your turn. Meanwhile, instant cards can be played during either player's turn at any point. We also have counter cards, which has a triggering condition, so you must place it face down during your turn and use it during your opponent's turn to counter one of their actions. Now let's get into the turn structure. There are 6 different phases per turn. In each turn, you'll begin by drawing 1 card. Next, you'll move into the generation phase where you generate essence for each creature on the field. Then, you have your main phase 1, where you restore all actions for creatures you control. This is also where you can normal summon 1 creature per turn, use creature abilities, play ruin cards, and place counter cards. You may play and place as many ruins and counters as you wish, but there's a limit of 5 total spots in your dedicated zone. You may also have a max of 5 creatures out at a time, so keep that in mind when making a strong push at the end of the game. Next, we have our battle phase, which we'll dive more into in a dedicated video. However, the basics of the battling phase is every creature has its very own strength and agility value, where the strength determines how much damage a creature deals, and agility determines how fast a creature is. Every creature that's denoted in the vertical position has an action available, and any creature that is denoted in the horizontal position is considered exhausted. So now let's get into the actions of creatures. An action is determined by attacking, blocking, dodging, or defending with any creature. This will be covered extensively in our next video. However, please note that blocking creatures do not fight back, and that when dodging, it is considered a missed attack and no new target is selected. If a creature engages in combat with an exhausted creature, the exhausted creature does not fight back, essentially nullifying its agility. So at the end of this phase, you'll restore all creatures to full health. After our battle phase, you'll have your main phase 2, which you can use any additional abilities you didn't previously. You can play and place ruins and counters again, and then lastly, we have our end phase. The end phase is where you'll restore all shields to the next highest tier and pass the turn to your opponent. When damaging shields throughout the turn, each shield has a threshold of 150 health. Once it goes down below a threshold, it then restores to the next highest threshold during your end phase. For example, if you have a tier 3 shield with 450 health and it was dealt 200 damage during this turn, during your end phase it will restore up to 300 health, and you can denote this by placing a token over the tier 2 spot below that shield on our game mat. So, in closing, this was just the basics of how to pick up and play ELEKIN in just 5 minutes. The pace for this video is much quicker than our upcoming videos will be, but please feel free to subscribe and sign up to be notified on our Kickstarter so you won't miss out on any of the action here. Till then, I'll see you in the next one.